All right, guys. Hello and welcome to another episode of BS Uplink. My name is B or Brandon.
Hey, my name is Sean, or S.
Right on, Sean. What's going on? I see it's still light out there in that West Coast, that sunny California.
We keep it golden over here. It's a little
Yeah,
dark over there on your side of things.
it is. It is. It's pitch black, but at least it's not raining. We got a little bit of rain, but the stars are out now, so I'm happy.
Hey, whenever it rains, it's a perfect time to fire up your console and start playing games.
Right. I see. I'm not the biggest gamer, but I know you are, and I know there's a lot in the news right now about this one game, right? This what's it called? Clair Obscure.
Yeah, that's the one. It's by Sandfall Interactive. They're a small indie dev. I think the team is about 32 people.
Nice.
And recently they found a lot of success with their new game, Clair Obscure Expedition 33. In the game, you're part of this group that's trying to figure out why people over the age of 33 are dying. There's this like mysterious figure called the Paintress, and then she just erases people with the paintbrush.
So the goal is to not get erased by the paintbrush. You have to stay away from this person.
I mean, stay away or, don't get to 33.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, what fascinated me was about the amount of success that they had. Just a group of 30, and it sounds like they sold a lot in a short amount of time, right?
A lot of games, a lot of copies. I mean, 33 days, they've sold 3.3 million copies.
In 33, see how that's some real magic going on, okay? Because the 33 is when you die, and they got 33 employees, and they sold 3.3 million copies in 33
days.
I don't like
magical.
That sounds like some witchcraft right there. That's some wickedness. Okay, all right. So you've piqued my interest. I want to learn. I want to learn more.
I mean, hey, props out to Sandfall Interactive. Huge success. Especially for an indie dev. The interesting thing is their success is inspiring. Longtime developer and publisher Square Enix to explore going back to their roots. They were initially a turn-based Japanese role-playing game, JRPG. And recently, with their latest releases, I believe it was Final Fantasy 16, they deviated from that turn-based combat system and went more action-oriented.
Okay. And why did they do this?
I'm not particularly sure. I kind of fell off after like Final Fantasy 10 and 12, some of the more popular titles in the series.
I've probably played one time, just to say that I did, so I have no idea. I did not follow the series at all.
You probably remember that spiky-haired kid.
Yes.
Cloud. Yep. And then, his nemesis, Sephiroth, this guy with like long, flowing white hair.
Yep, that's him.
Yep.
I don't know the names, but I know the faces. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he has a sword that's like 30 feet tall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was, that's really the only reason why I played it, because I was young. I was like, oh shit, I want to play with that sword. I don't know. I've fallen off, but yeah.
Hey, a lot of longtime gamers, like they have Final Fantasy. It's like a soft spot in their heart, because so many memories. It's always a lengthy campaign, so you're devoting a lot of time in this world. And of course, those fluffy little chocobos you keep riding on, these like giant ostrich-looking things. But they're cute, so people love them.
So you mentioned Square Enix is trying to go back to their roots. What did you mean by that? I interrupted you with something else, but I was curious. Why are they trying to go back to their roots?
Oh, for sure. So interesting development that a lot of people online are talking about right now is in one of Square Enix's earnings calls or investor meetings. Apologies. So in their investor meetings, Square Enix investor, one of them came out saying they would love to see Square Enix just return to their roots of turn-based gaming. And they name dropped Final Fantasy, and the other series that Square Enix develops publishes is Dragon Quest. But the focus is on Final Fantasy. It gets a lot of people interested.
Nice. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I think that going back to their roots or staying simplistic is a good thing. And this is off subject, but it's game related. Is Tony Hawk? You remember Tony Hawk Pro Skate? Was it?
Yeah.
Like I forget what it was, but are they also doing something similar? Because I think I read something or heard something that, I guess probably millennials, that was like one of their favorite games or something, and then they started trying to create or do something slightly different, and then they introduced something recently where I guess they went back to kind of their roots of how, the old Tony Hawk Pro Skateboarder, if that's the name of the video game. I'm sorry, I don't remember specifically. I do remember playing it though. I remember getting it on on Xbox instead of PlayStation, and Xbox had like so much more blood, and that's why I was just so intrigued. I was like, oh man, when you fall and you get hurt, you get like the blood comes out. I'm like, oh yeah, I just tried to. But is that something similar? Like, did they do that as well? Like, are they trying to go back to kind of their roots in that game?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you bring up Tony Hawk Pro Skater, because the 1 and 2 is what people remember the most.
Right.
And recently on PlayStation, it became one of those free monthly game titles. I downloaded it and started playing it, and dude, I was just transported back to childhood.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear and see that, the latest iterations of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series, they're returning back to that root of just, being more about skateboarding and just the experience about that.
Yeah. I mean, I got kids, so I'm like trying to introduce them to some of like the old games. Like I can't wait for, I mean, I guess for me, it was just like Grand Theft Auto. So like, I'm so excited for Grand Theft Auto to come out. But like I had all these like older PlayStation games. Like I'm playing Street Fighter with my son. Like we have the old one. We have like the like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. We have the old one, but I'm like trying to like, make him more cultured by playing like older looking video games and stuff like that. He's like, he loves Minecraft, but yeah. Well, you remember Power Up of the Rapper?
I do.
I got him playing that. Like I'm like, we finally broke the
Dude,
levels. I could not
amazing.
break it as a kid. Like I'm playing it with my son, and we're going like kick, punch, just like yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I think everything should come full circle, right? I mean, the nostalgia for the older folks and kids still enjoy it, and then for the adults, they're gonna buy it because it's that nostalgic feeling.
Yeah, and then, you hit the nail on the head. That nostalgia factor was definitely a factor in this turn-based success for, Clair Obscure. But it's really heartwarming to also see that sometimes with the like large companies as Square Enix, they kind of are inspired about these successes, but then that, propels them to explore innovations that they had years ago, and now they get to re-implement it. Do you ever see that like in film? I know like you're really into film, and there's been some big news around the film industry recently as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I mean I think about that as in film too. Like I know you I know you enjoy watching Star Wars or in like all the series that are coming out. So I was thinking about that too. Like that nostalgic feeling is a way to capture such a wide broad audience, because you're gonna have, my generation, even boomers, right? The Star Wars was around for a long time. So you've got, the younger generation picking up on, all the new episodes and falling in love with Baby Yoda and all this other kind of, it makes for huge blockbuster sales. And yeah, I guess, the same, going back to like your roots, or don't change what isn't broken. Yeah, studios are, I mean, I guess they're adopting the same tactic in order to make the most money, right? They're doing that with Star Wars, they're doing that with Marvel. So yeah.
Oh man, don't even bring up Marvel. The way Star Wars is going right now, it seems like they're gonna have their own Avengers level versus Thanos moment. You got so many different series. They're dropping breadcrumbs. People are like featuring from one series to another. But I mean, to me, it's like, Square Enix is over here learning from the success of someone going back to older nostalgic form, whereas in the film industry, it seems that they're just reiterating something that's already been done, and you kind of lose the impact once you keep seeing it over and over again. Yeah. Do you think like audiences are kind of fatigued from this? Are you seeing other series that are doing something similar that they,
yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I mean, like, I guess as a as a real film connoisseur, I I obviously went to film school as well, and I mean, I just have a background in studying, film noir and a lot of the, the great uh, cinematic works of old. And yeah, I mean, the Hollywood and major studios have pushed aside that type of work, and they focus solely on what's going to make them the most money. And obviously, this business model that they set up where, everything is tied together and everything weaves together. And, this superhero is going to show up in this movie, and then they're going to trade spots, and we got to wait for the credits to roll so that we can see, this next movie that we're definitely going to have to go see now because, oh my gosh, this person's going to be. So, I mean, it's a tried and true way of the biggest ROI, the biggest bang for your buck. And I don't think the studios are going to turn away from that anytime soon to make, uh, uh, old Clark Gable movies or, Singing in the Rain musicals. Like, gone are those days where, like, you're going to have like real film noir show up and outperform the next Marvel movie, right? But it does fall kind of in a different category, which would be like, indie films. So I mean, these are, indie game creators, right? Like that's what they would be classified as, indie developers. So yeah, I mean, we've got indie films as well, where you go to film festivals to see these type of films, right? You're gonna go to Sundance, you're gonna go to Cannes. I really wanted to go to Cannes this year, but I heard it was great. But like, a lot of good movies were introduced. But I mean, there's a place for it. And I've one of these films, one of these more indie films happens to outperform, the next Captain America, then yeah, maybe studios will look at it and say, hey, yeah, maybe we need to go ahead.
Quick question. Do you think like Ryan Coogler's film, was it The Sinners? Do you think that's a good example of like was that considered indie?
No, I wouldn't consider it indie because it was studio back. But he did have a challenge. It's funny because you mentioned Ryan Coogler because when I went to SC, I actually went to school with him. He was a grad student. I was undergrad, and then I went into business after that. But I knew him, and he started with Fruitvale Station, and then he progressed from there, and he did The Creed, and he's had a lot of other successes and hits, and he actually, I believe, put up some of his own money to make that film because I don't think the studios wanted to make it, right? Because it's about vampires, and we had that whole era
not the Twilight vampires,
not
right?
the Twilight, right? We had the Twilight, we had the Twilight era of vampires where it was teens, tween,
heartthrobs, man. Sparkle.
And then you had so many like things breaking off from that where it was vampire movie after vampire movie. But that's kind of how trends work. So I don't know. Maybe in Sinners you'll find that someone says, oh well, vampire movies might be a thing again. Maybe we'll start doing that. Who knows? Yep.
I mean, they remade Nosferatu, and I hear the new one's really scary.
I saw that. Did you see it,
dude? Scary movies and me. I mean, that's why I love the sun over here, man. Keep the lights on.
Dude, I was disappointed. I was really expecting something good there. But yeah, let's talk about, taking a film from old. Because yeah, if you've watched the first one, I was expecting a lot more out of the second one. It wasn't horrible. Because yeah, horror movies take a back seat nowadays. I mean, even if you're talking about horror movies, when you talk about like, those teen horror like House of Wax or like, Screams and all that, where it was, really geared towards a certain demographic. If you want to make a more artistic horror film, if you talk about like The Exorcist, which was, not geared towards a younger audience, but, was obviously consumed by everybody. Yeah, maybe we'll start to see more of, those type of horror films that really, encapsulate everything that it takes to make a good film instead of just, trash to scare people and scream every 30 seconds.
Yeah. You'll hear me scream, brother.
I think that's the best we can hope from Hollywood is like a series of, we'll get to Fast and Furious 23 soon.
Oh man. Jason Momoa comes back from the dead.
Vin Diesel will be dead, but they'll have AI generate his body, and he'll come back and fight off, I don't know, whomever is the.
Hey, I mean, he already sent a car into space way before Elon ever did.
Dude, Tyrese and freaking Ludacris driving a car in space was the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. I'm like, where have we? How far have we degraded as film? Yeah. consumers. But yeah.
Hey, what do you mean, man? Next time we'll be racing on the moon, maybe on the rings of Saturn.
Oh man, you better go walk your butt down to the Writers Guild of America right now, and you better copyright that script, because I guarantee you, Fast and the Furious 16 will be we'll be racing interplanetary races or something. Yeah, it's coming.
Yep. Well, there you have it all. Indie devs inspiring big publishers. Maybe the film industry does the same. We'll see how it goes. Any final thoughts, Brandon?
No, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. It definitely helps us out. And until next time, we'll catch you on the
next uplink.
On the next uplink. There we go. That's how you end the show.
Peace.
Peace.